Hello everyone, welcome to WB Institution, the online education app. Today we are going to see about design of mission elements. So what are mission elements? Mission elements are nothing but shafts, gears, brakes, clutches, tie rods, connecting rods, whatever the equipment which we use in a mission element. So those components are individually called as mission elements. Now what is design of these mission elements? So what mainly design matters here? So let us consider a shaft. So a circular shaft of length L and diameter D. So now we have to calculate, we have to design this shaft. Now what are the properties we are going to find in this shaft? That is, they will mention all the details of the load applied on the shaft. Now we have to calculate only the diameter. So at what diameter this can be at the safest point. So the ultimate load or the yield point will be, they will be mentioned in the question. Now for that yield point we have to calculate the diameter of the shaft. So let us consider this shaft as a material is MS, length is 1 meter. Now we have to calculate the diameter of this shaft. So if we take this circular shaft, only 3 parameters are necessary to design this component. So in case of other elements, there will be more number of properties or parameters will be visible in this component. So for those all parameters, how to design these mission elements? So these mission elements are basically at different sizes of the or different shapes it will be present. So now for this particular mission element, we have to calculate the safe value by using the design parameters. So we have to calculate the design parameters of the particular mission element. So from design point of view, how many types of load is classified? That is 2 types of loads. One is static and other one is fluctuating. So static loads are nothing but, in this the load is constant with respect to time. So at any time the load will be constant at a particular value. So in fluctuating load will be varying with respect to time. So the load may be increases or it may be decreases from the initial point. So we have to design on basis of these 2 types of loads. So in this syllabus we only deal in between static and fluctuating load. So based on this we have to design the mission element what we require. So when this particular element is going to fail, so at what point this material will get breakdown or it gets yields or it gets fracture. So for that we need to calculate the failure occurs, when this failure will be occurred. So for calculating the safe parameters we use design of mission elements. Now let us see what is static loading. Design of mission element under static loading. So in static loading there are 2 types of failures. One is yielding, other one is fracture. So in yielding it is basically meant for ductile materials, and for fracture it is basically meant for brittle materials. So here in yielding, so we get the value yield point SYT, we call it as SYT. S is strength, Y is yielding and T is tensile force applied on the body. So in case of fracture for brittle materials, the ultimate load will be given, that is strength, ultimate load and in tension load. So at what value we get fracture and we get yielding. So we need to calculate for either for brittle materials or for ductile materials. So at what value we get yield or fracture, that is we have to calculate the strength of the material. So for calculating the strength of material, let us consider a design for a shaft mentioned here. So here the load is given, that is tensile load of 10 kilonewton, and we have to calculate the diameter of the particular shaft. How we relate this stress with the yield point or the fracture point, that we are going to see in this type of loading. So in the question they have mentioned the yield point, that is the strength of yield is 300 megapascal and the factor of safety is 2. Now for designing this particular shaft, we need to keep the stresses, we have to calculate the diameter. So if we give a value for the diameter, by calculating the diameter with the respective of the stresses, that stress should be less than the yield stress, that is 300 megapascal. At what value we will give 300 megapascal less than? So we can give 299.9 also. So is it correct to give 299.9 megapascal? So that is also less than the given yield point, but we should not give this value. Why? Because even if a small changes occurs in the mission element, then the stresses will increases. If the stresses increases, then the yielding occurs. So yielding is nothing but the elongation of the material. So if the yielding occurs in the material, then the function of the mission element will not function properly. So there will be some noises or vibration generated in the mission element. So if the stress goes higher than 300, so that is more than, let us say around 400 megapascal, there we get the breaking point. So in that breaking point, the mission element will get fractured, so the function will not work properly for the particular mission member. So we have to keep the stress less than the yield point. For that we divide it by the factor of safety. The yield strength is divided by factor of safety. Then if we calculate the diameter based on this relation, then we get the safe value for this particular shaft. So the safest diameter. Now in this case, this is the safest diameter. The load is applied only in one direction, that is uniaxial loading. Now what about biaxial loading and what about triaxial loading? So basically for calculating the diameter, the design of the particular member, then we have to relate the stress and the strength. So normal stress and normal strength we have to calculate. We have to equate this equation to get the safe value for the particular design. Now here we have to mainly concentrate on the units while the converting from megapascal to kilonewton. Here megapascal is nothing but Newton per mm square. Now we have to convert these kilonewton also into Newton values. So we have to multiply with 10 cube. So this is very important. We shouldn't forget in the examination time. So if we forget this, the value, that is the outcoming value, will be very different. So for that different value also there will be an option. So if we select that option, that will be a negative point. Now this is uniaxial loading. Let us consider the same component with twist moment, that is the twisting moment. Torque is given in this point, that is 5 Newton meter is given in the shaft. So for this there are two stresses generated in the body. One is normal stress and other one is shear stress. So the normal stress we can calculate by 4p by pi d square, that is nothing but load by area, and the shear stress is calculated by 16t by pi d cube. Now we have to get the relation between normal stress and the shear stress also with the yield strength. So we want to equate all these three values to get the safest value for the particular design. Now how we get the relation between stress and the yield strength? That is by the theories of failures. So by basis of the theories of failures, we calculate the values, we calculate the relation in between normal stress, shear stress and the yield strength. Then only we can find the value of the diameter in this case, that will give the safest value for the in between the lesser than the yield strength. So what is theories of failures? That is nothing but failure theories to predict the failure of the mission element subjected to bi or triaxial loading. So triaxial stresses, here has shown you an example of an biaxial loading. So there will be an example also with the triaxial loading. So in all three dimensions load will be applied on the body. Then what is the relation in between this shear stress, that is normal stress, shear stress and the yield strength? We calculate, we get the relation from these 5 failure theories. That is, first one is maximum normal stress theory, next maximum shear stress theory, next one is maximum strain energy theory, maximum distortion energy theory and maximum normal strain theory. So based on these 5 theories of failures, we get the relation between normal stress, shear stress and yield strength. So here I am pointing it many times. Why? Because it is very important to get the relation between these 3. So there will be an definite question in the examination point of view based on these theories of failures.